In this video, I'll be telling you 107 facts about anything and all things The Rookie. So let's just get right into it. The show is on a warped timeline that doesn't keep up with real life, for the most part. It's the real life present day in The Rookie, but the seasons do not go along with it. Seasons 1 through 3 take 12 months to complete, while season 4 on its own is a year and a half. Raj, the creator of Daddy Cop, is played by the son of the creator of the show, Xander Hawley. He wasn't initially meant to be a character, but was written in as Selena's boyfriend later on. Lucy is warned not to date Nolan in season 1 for branding reasons, but 4 seasons later was allowed to date Bradford without any pushback. Nathan Fillion, the actor of John Nolan, lost 30 pounds in between season 1 and 2 to add realism to his character. The actors for Bailey Noon and Jason Weiler, who were in a divorced, abusive marriage in the show, are actually married in real life with kids. The youngest of the season 1 cast was Titus Mackin Jr., who was 1 year younger than Melissa O'Neill. Richard Jones, the actor for Sergeant Grey, is actually younger than Nathan Fillion, aka John Nolan, despite being older in the show. There is a 10-year age gap between Tim Bradford and Lucy Chen. There has been a total of 5 rookies who have been washed out or transferred from the LAPD before their training was over. All but one of those rookies, Seth Ridley, only lasted for 1 episode before their fates were decided. The only villain to have made an appearance in or have been referenced in every single season is Oscar Hutchinson. There have been 3 main characters to quit The Rookie: Jackson West, Talia Bishop, and Aaron Thorson. With these 3 characters, 2 have had negative reasons for leaving the show, citing racial and discrimination reasons, while the other, Aaron Thorson, left amicably and is open for a return in the future. Hashtag bring back Aaron, he's my favorite character in the show. Nolan is 46 in the first season of The Rookie, making him a whopping 53 years old now, which is really old for a cop on patrol. Tim Bradford was a training officer for 10 years before becoming sergeant, but Lucy went for it after only 2 years of being a patrol officer. There have been many storylines about bombs in the show, but one involves a literal nuke, which was season 7 episode 1, The Shot. There have been over 80 hours of runtime so far in The Rookie, aka 3 days and 8 hours, which is a really long binging session. The most popular TikTok made by the cast has over 200 million views, showing that the show has a massive reach and following. Wesley Evers switched sides during the middle of the show, where he used to work as a public defender and then moved to being a DA, who charges people for their crimes. The show was created based off a real-life man who joined the LAPD in his mid-40s, and he's still on the force today. This man, by the name of William Norcross, can actually be seen as a background character in a few of the raid scenes in the show. Lucy has lived with 3 people throughout the show: Jackson, Tamara, and now Selena. In the beginning of the show, Gray had it out for Nolan and wanted to wash him out and would find any reason to do so. Over the season, he's grown to change his mind about him. After everything that happened with Armstrong, Nolan was told he would never rank up past P2, making it very clear that he would fall behind Lucy and Jackson, as well as everyone else who were to join in the future. However, in season 5, due to a heroic standoff on the border, he was given a golden ticket and it allowed him to rank up to training officer. The season 7 episode Wildfire was made months before the actual wildfires in California. This was terribly timed with when the episodes had to release, as this episode released only a week after the wildfires begun in real life. There are 3 episodes in which the show turns into a documentary series, recorded in an entirely different style as the normal episodes. Interestingly enough, these 3 episodes are also the 3 lowest rated episodes online, so it makes you wonder why they keep making them. Miles Penn, as of season 7 episode 15, is now a regular character in the show and will be one of the mains in season 8 going forward. Chenford is the only couple in the show that was not initially written for them to be a couple. At first, they were never supposed to be together. Melissa O'Neill, aka Lucy Chen, actually is an amazing singer in real life and has won Canadian Idol at age 17. Jenna Dewan and Mekia Cox, aka Bailey and Nyla, also have an accomplished past, as they both used to be background dancers for Michael and Janet Jackson. Officer Nolan is from Foxburg, Pennsylvania, which is not actually a real town, or at least not the way they pictured it. The closest thing is a small unincorporated community with less than 150 people. Nathan Fillion was on another police show right before The Rookie called Castle, which went on for 8 whole seasons before coming to an end. The creator of The Rookie hopes for the show to become the next Grey's Anatomy and go on for many years to come with a cycling cast that goes in and out. and it seems like they're already setting this up given the new rookies that show up every few seasons. The show uses actual body cam footage that we can see during the episodes. However, this was more common in the earlier seasons than now. The actors for Jackson West and Sergeant Gray requested for the racial discrimination plotline in Season 3 as the BLM movement began to emerge in 2020. Dylan Conrique, the actress who plays Tamara, has a very successful music career, and she has over 13 million views on YouTube on her most popular song, Birthday Cake. Titus Mackin Jr. also has gone for a music career, which so far has not been as successful, with his most popular song amassing 106,000 views so far. Rosalind Dyer was killed off in the show as Andy Wershing, the actress for her, was dying of cancer, and she ended up dying less than a year after the episode was filmed. The 6th season of the show was cut short with 10 episodes due to the writer's strike at the time. ABC has renewed The Rookie for an 8th season before the 7th season has even finished airing, showing the show is going to be around for a very long time. Nathan Fillion has invited a lot of his previous Firefly and Castle cast members to make guest appearances on the show. Bailey Noon is actually a massive criminal who went unpunished due to her conspiring to murder Jason through telling Malvado where he was. Every time a wedding happens in The Rookie, something goes horribly wrong and derails the whole celebration. There is an in-universe equivalent to TikTok that they call Clip Talk, which is the all-in-one social media app. They do this to avoid copyright and trademark infringement. It is unsure what the salary for a P2 officer is, but from what we've heard from the cops themselves, it could be anywhere between $80,000 to $100,000 per year. Speaking of money, Miles Penn could have made $300,000 a year working for AJ Knox's private security, but he decided to reject it because he loved being a police officer too much. Bradford has gotten a lot softer over the seasons, even involving the rookies he has under his wing. This is because Lucy, the kindest character of the show, has worn him down over time. Once Jackson West left the show, his dad also stopped appearing, aside from a 1-episode cameo in Season 5. It's still unknown why they won't show him anymore. Tim and Lucy's first kiss was actually for an undercover mission and not because they were interested in each other, but the kiss did fester feelings for them later on. Nolan was forced to take an extra month of mandatory training over Jackson and Lucy due to the reprimand he got in Season 3, putting him behind his peers. Cole Midas, the person who killed Captain Anderson in front of Nolan in Season 1, was subsequently arrested by Nolan himself. When Rosalind Dyer would be questioned for any reason, she would primarily refuse to speak to anyone else other than Nolan, unless it was to get under someone's skin, like with Lucy where she sang the barrel song from Day of Death. Nick Armstrong and Blair London are 2 examples of LAPD members who actually were insiders to criminal masterminds. Lucy and Rachel have been best friends throughout the show, and Tim Bradford ended up dating both of them at different points. Speaking of Rachel, Lucy set Tim and her up as a way to get Lucy out of long sleeves. This proved to be successful after they slept together. The only couple who has been together from the start to finish of the show is Sergeant Gray and his longtime wife, Luna. Everyone else got together throughout the show. The LAPD basically dealt with the purge, as in Season 7, Episode 12, April Fools, a fired social media manager told the whole city that there was no crime for 3 hours. There is a criminal who saved cops in the show. In Season 7's The Mickey had Tim at gunpoint, but the hammer tackles Mickey and saves Tim and Nolan from a takeover. When John and Lucy dated, they had a whopping 18-year age gap, with John being 46 and Lucy being 28. This is even higher than the Tim and Lucy age gap. Lucy Chen is the only rookie shown on the show to make an arrest before she even arrives to her first day. This was when she arrested the person who wanted to take her car when it was broken down. Captain Anderson specifically requested for Nolan to join the LAPD over other departments due to his age, since she believed he had a set of wisdom with a different perspective. Before moving into the LAPD trailer park, Penn lived in his car. This was bad because in order to be in the force, you need stable housing, or they would consider you prone to corruption. Sergeant Gray and Tim have both talked about retiring, and they both almost did, but they both decided to stay on the force. Nolan has dated the most people on the show: Lucy Chen, Jessica Russo, Grace Sawyer, and Bailey Noon. What's even crazier about that is that Nolan dated all of these women within the first 3 seasons before finally settling down with Bailey later on. Nolan's son, Henry, despite being very close to his dad, has never met Nolan's half-brother, Pete. I wonder if Nolan did that deliberately. Speaking of Pete, he was last seen in Season 4's episode Day in the Hole, and we've only heard his name in passing since. Skip Tracer Randy is played by a very popular character actor named Flula Borg. This means his characters in other projects are very similar to Randy. There's a large fan theory out there right now as of season 7 episode 15 that Seth is involved with Monica as an insider. But I personally don't agree with that since he's too sloppy. Pause. Now that I'm recording this after episode 16 drops, I'm so glad that this was false. In the episode The Overnight, someone tries to kill Nyla in front of her daughter, Lila, and this puts a massive dent into their already strained relationship. In the show, the probationary period of being a rookie actually lasts 13 months, whereas in real life, it's only 12 months. There have been many celebrity appearances on the show, such as will.i.am, Mario Lopez, and even Mark Cuban. Penn is from Sugar Land, Texas, which is a super small town. Since no crime really would happen here, he was basically just community patrol who didn't really have any actual policing experience. This made it very hard for him in the beginning as he was cocky about being a cop there for 2 years and didn't understand how different it was going to be. Back to Melissa O'Neil singing, she actually had a scene where she auditioned for American Idol in season 2 to showcase her singing skills. A Disney couple is sort of in the show. Mekhi Cox played Princess Tiana from Once Upon a Time, and Jeff Pierre, aka Emmett, played Prince Naveen. Oscar's daughter, Ashley, was played by Molly Quinn, who also plays Alexis Castle, the daughter of Nathan Fillion's Castle role, Richard Castle. Both Nathan Fillion and Mekhi Cox have been on Modern Family, being in season 8 and season 7 respectively. Another person who played a side character from a previous Nathan show was the man who played Elroy, the crime cleaner, who was the pilot in Firefly. The 100th episode of the show is season 6 episode 2, The Hammer, and in that episode we're given a very interesting Chenford moment.
That's good.
Here.
Patrick Kelleher, the actor for Seth Ridley, only ever did stage acting before landing his role on The Rookie, according to his YouTube channel. Harper left undercover work to become a training officer specifically to be able to reconnect with her daughter, as she lost custody of her due to her job. The phone calls made in the show are pre-recorded videos and phone screenshots rather than actually making phone calls because phones can sometimes run slow and ruin the scene. Since Doug Stanton from season 3 was moved to North Hollywood after the Jackson situation, and Aaron transferred there in season 7, this would mean that they likely met, unless Doug was fired somewhere in between. Abigail and Henry were engaged, and then in season 7 episode 15, almost 4 seasons later, we find out they broke it off through a documentary episode. Great. Speaking of Abigail, her actress Madeline Coughlin also was on The Castle, playing Emily in season 8. Alexi Hawley has casually confirmed in an MSN article that Liam Glasser is going to be the season 8's biggest villain. What does that mean for Monica moving forward? We'll have to see. Grace and Nolan previously dated in college before reuniting and being friends for a few months. Then they decided to give dating another try. Unlike Rosalind Dyer, Elijah Stone was still alive when he was arrested, meaning that he could possibly come back in the future. The show was initially supposed to center around John Nolan with everyone else around him, but the show quickly became an ensemble cast as fans loved everyone and not just Nolan. Eric Winter's real-life wife played a character in the show. It was Rosalind Sanchez in season 2 episode 6, playing Valerie. Every time a character was pregnant, it was because their actresses were pregnant in real life, and these were written into the show instead of hidden. Harold Perrineau, the actor for Nick Armstrong, was never actually informed that he was going to be playing a dirty cop, so he was able to play his character more naturally. Despite playing American characters, Nathan Fillion, Melissa O'Neil, and Shawn Ashmore are all Canadian. While Brandon Routh plays normally wholesome characters like Superman and Ray Palmer, he was cast as Doug Stanton, a heavily racist cop, which is very much against his normal type of roles. Aaron Thorson's backstory is based off of the Amanda Knox story, where she was convicted and then exonerated of the murder of her roommate due to a sloppy investigation. The 3rd season of the show was cut short with 14 episodes due to a large amount of the crew testing positive for COVID during production. That being said, The Rookie was one of the few shows to actually complete a full season order of the 2019-2020 TV schedule despite that setback. There's a scene where Eric Winter is shown both as Tim and Jake in the same shot. This was done by having a cleverly placed tree-in shot to crop 2 different clips together. The song that Tamara listens to in her car is written by the actress herself. The song is called Bitter. Nathan Fillion is actually deaf in one ear. Eric Winter won Sexiest Cop in People's Magazine in March 2025. Despite Ben being such an important figure for Nolan early on in the show, we haven't seen him since season 3. On the same topic of missing characters, since Grace broke up with Nolan, we haven't seen her at the hospital at all. Just because they broke up doesn't mean she had to quit her job. Lucy is the only person in the original main cast to not have killed someone on duty yet. And finally, fact number 107, we are the only channel on YouTube making genuine content about the Rookie. So make sure to subscribe and leave a like if you want to see more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.